Hi, I'm Lizzie. This is my critical thinking assignment. This is the analyze the artifacts part. Um, I watched two videos. They were both TED Talks. They were both about parenting, and one of them was about physical abuse and spanking, and then the other one was about kind of repairing and like apologizing and trying. And they both talked about like the effects of those things. The artifacts relate to the class content. They are, I just said that they're about parenting, and spanking. Those were two of the suggested topics. I Question 3 asks about if I believe the information of the two artifacts is credibly sourced. I do. I believe this because I think I did a little bit of research, and both of the ladies that spoke in these TED Talks are, they're both licensed professionals. They aren't trying to sell anything. They, I think that they really care about the well-being of our children and of our nation, and they want to help us make changes in our parenting style so that we can help our children grow up and not have any of these negative mental effects that come from spanking and come from not apologizing and stuff. Question 4 says, how accurately do you think your artifacts depict developmental or family research? I think very accurately. I think that they both talk about one of them they both talk about parenting, but one of them talks about apologizing, and it talks about how it's never too late to apologize. That was one thing I really, really liked, is she talked about, like, even if you have, like, adult children and you're talking about something that happened years and years and years ago, you can still apologize, and it can still repair what's been lost. It can help them feel more secure and like it's not their fault kind of thing, and that can help them gain a lot more security within themselves. And then the other one was talking about spanking, and that talks about the negative factors that it has on children's development. And so I think it's a really good artifact to show us development and family research. Number 5 says, are your artifacts generalizable to the world population? Why or why not? One thing I thought about a lot was, I feel like the one about repairing is very generalizable to people, because it's like, obviously apologizing is a great thing to do, and we should do it, and it can help our relationships. And I don't have any children. I'm 18, so I'm pretty young, but I have seen that, like, the effects of apologizing and how that makes relationships so much better and secure and trusting. And I can see that that would definitely work with a child, and I don't see how there could be any variability across cultures within that. And then for the spanking one, I think similar thing. Like, I don't think there's a lot of variability. There definitely are differences in physical abuse in cultures, and sometimes I think some cultures think it's very normal and that it should be done, and some cultures are very, like, anti. So there is that. Children could be like, oh yeah, like, this is just normal, like, I'm not, but it talks about, like, the cognitive effects, and I don't see how that could really vary across cultures, because that's, like, a genetic thing, right? Number 6, do you believe your artifacts are pushing certain narratives without evidence? Why have you taken this stance? I don't think that they are trying to push a certain narrative without evidence. I think that these ladies both have done a lot of research. This is their job. This is like the one lady, like, her whole thing is about repairing, and, like, that's her whole, like, stance, and she talks about that, and that's, like, a big thing. She's done a lot of research on it. I feel like it's pretty trustworthy. And the other lady, she has suffered from physical violence, and I think that she's trying to do it so that she can help people avoid that. And then confirmation bias, I think that I have experienced a little bit of confirmation bias, just because both of these topics are things that I've heard about and I've seen in my life, and so it just makes sense to me that I would agree with these things. I think spanking is bad. I've heard that a million times. I think apologizing is good. I've heard that a million times. I've experienced that. So, yeah. How would you change the artifacts to make them better? For the one about spanking, I wish that she talked a little bit more about what we could do instead of spanking, because children do need to learn and grow from those things. And then for the other one, I wish that she talked a little bit more about the same thing, really, like, both teaching, like, what we should do instead of getting mad. So, yeah, thank you.